Right, 16 May 2025, and as usual, I'm here to give you the morning trending news. This is the most important stream of the day. So more than 100,000 people watch this stream, and it's making people hot under the collar. The way it's popular, it's making people want to cry, wanna cry. It's sad. But let's get started. And you can see that I'm back talking about Nelson Chamisa. Nelson Chamisa is one of the most powerful politicians in Zimbabwe. When he starts moving, everything stops. So most of the guys in Zimbabwe want to do politics, but they don't have the political acumen of Nelson Chamisa. When Chamisa, even if he doesn't talk, there is always going to be a big story around what he does. So over the past few months, there have been attempts to remove Mnangagwa through ZANU-PF aligned people like Gqesha, the war veterans. And this appears to have sort of stopped after the arrest of Nyabira. And this week, Chamisa has started working on his new political party. According to my sources, Nelson Chamisa is on the verge of announcing his new political party. And this is making a lot of waves inside of the political space, because Nelson Chamisa is certainly popular enough to eventually become president of Zimbabwe. And currently, there is consensus that the election in 2028, we won't get there with Mnangagwa in office. So in short, Mnangagwa is gone through a ZANU-PF process. So Mnangagwa is not there. So what kind of a new leadership structure are we going to have, which includes and which brings everyone together? That is where the question is. How do we maneuver the post-Mnangagwa era? And what this means is that Chamisa is going to be an important player in what is happening and what is going to happen. And what is going to happen is simple. For the next 10 years, we're going to have a transitional system. I've been saying this for a long time. And the military is going to be very strong. The military, as we speak right now, are part of the process that are taking place through the war veterans and through their support for Chiwenga, who is next in line. Chiwenga has got massive support within the military. I talk to a large number of people within the Zimbabwe military on a daily basis. And my understanding is that within a short space of time, Mnangagwa is going to be out of office, and it won't be more than a few weeks. So within a few weeks, that is what I've been told, that Mnangagwa will be out of office. And you saw what happened last night, the story I carried about the attack at State House. So those things are happening. A lot is happening behind the scenes that you don't know. But Mnangagwa is certainly out, and the new kind of structure is coming. It's just a matter of how to manage Mnangagwa out of office. So now let's go to the headline. Chamisa is meeting a lot of people. And among them, he's meeting diplomats to discuss what is coming. So if you go to x.com and you go to Chamisa Twitter, you're going to see, let's go to Chamisa's Twitter so that you can see what I'm going to talk about here. So Nelson Chamisa, he is very popular over there. You're going to see that Chamisa has not posted anything today. So Nelson Chamisa is not posted. Let me show you. And this is important. So Nelson Chamisa, yesterday's post that I showed you about the ego, that is what he still has. So that is Nelson Chamisa. However, if you go to UK in Zimbabwe, so if you go to UK in Zimbabwe, over here, you're going to see that Nelson Chamisa has had a meeting with the ambassador, UK ambassador to Zimbabwe, Peter Vowles. I don't know if this Vowles or Vowles. A pleasure to catch up with Nyasha Chamisa earlier today. Good to hear his perspectives on the latest developments in Zimbabwe as part of my continued engagements across the political spectrum. So let's unpack this message. The meeting is with Nyasha Chamisa. Nyasha Chamisa is not currently having a political party, and this meeting is to engage. So the UK engaging, and you can see that Nyasha Chamisa himself did not post this message. It came from the guys in the UK. So what kind of options are available for Nyasha Chamisa? The options are simple. He cannot do nothing. So if Nyasha Chamisa does nothing right now, it's not going to work well. This is the time to start working to build a political party if he's going to be the president of Zimbabwe. So, however, and I want to emphasize this point, what is going to happen to ZANU-PF or inside ZANU-PF will come first. So between now and December, it's a big period of political instability. And I don't know if Nyasha Chamisa should wait or should do it now, because what is going to come is very disruptive. So what is going to happen to Mnangagwa specifically is very disruptive. You are going to see a lot of action within ZANU-PF. If Chamisa is quiet now, the events in ZANU-PF are probably going to overtake him. So there's going to be a lot of events that are going to overtake Nyasha Chamisa if he does not move now. However, if he moves now, he might block a possible coalition with Chiwenga. There is a big demand for Chiwenga, who is coming next in ZANU-PF, to work with Chamisa. But how would that look like? And if you listen very carefully to Tendai Biti, you are going to see that there is a need for some sort of people's convention to take place. But the biggest problem with the proposal by Mandaza and Tendai Biti is that what is going to trigger it is not clear. What is going to trigger Mnangagwa leaving office? Because that is the prerequisite for everything that is happening. Mnangagwa has to leave office. And they are assuming that Mnangagwa will just one day stand up and say, I'm leaving office. And I want you guys to go back to watch that presentation by Mandaza and also by Tendai Biti. There is a gap of what is the trigger of what is going to lead Mnangagwa to leave office so that the NTA can be in place. So, is Chamisa going to be part of an NTA that he did not kickstart? Is Chamisa going to allow himself to sit on the side and let a group of unknown people, 7 unknown people, to lead the country? Is Chiwenga going to sit there and allow a group of 7 unknown people appointed by no one to lead the country? So I think there is a lot of work that needs to be happening here on what is next and what is going to trigger everything. There's also a need to find a funder and a backer. So everything that is happening right now in Zimbabwe is not funded. That is why it is failing. So normally in other countries, there is someone with a lot of money, a billionaire, who puts his money down and allows people to work and to move around. At the moment, there is absolutely no money changing hands. Let me give you an example of what's happening right now. Nyabira Bunu is currently in prison right now for over a month. And up to this point, I have personally been trying to raise legal fees for Nyabira Bunu. We have been running around trying to find money for Nyabira Bunu to get representation. The money that has been given to Nyabira Bunu in total is less than 30,000 rands or $1,500 for what is happening in court for the lawyers. As we speak right now, the lawyers are not paid. The lead lawyers have put out a quotation for about $35,000, and only about $1,500 has been raised. And this is from well-wishers, some of them through me, and some of them directly to the lawyers. But there is no money. And if something really big needs to happen, you need to have money. And currently, there's no money. So the point I'm trying to make is you can't have the kind of transition that people are talking about with zero money. So someone has to put forward some money, and that money is not available as we speak. No one that is a billionaire is willing to fund or to take out any money. So there is a struggle within a struggle. And the struggle is, how do we get money to fund what is coming? Otherwise, it's almost impossible to fight Mnangagwa when you can't raise 2,000. So when we're just about to get bail, I was in court and I was waiting that when Nyabira Bunu comes, we then pay the bail. I was running around looking for 2,000 rands. Guys, I'm not lying to you. There was no one at court. I called people and no one was answering the phone for 2,000 rands. That is crazy. So that is the problem we have. One, what is the trigger that is going to make us move from Mnangagwa to an NTA? Two, where do we get the money to make this thing happen? Because you can't form a new government with no money. And thirdly, if Nelson Chamisa comes into the space like he's doing now, what is this going to look like? Where is he going to fit in within the transition that is currently taking place within ZANU-PF? So think deeply about the questions that I'm giving you right now, especially the guys who are talking about the NTA. We have a long way to go, but the trigger is going to come from someone that has got money jumping into this space. At the moment, we don't have that guy that has got money, that is willing to jump into this space and allow us to have the change. The delay we are experiencing right now is because there is no money. If there was money right now within what is happening, Mnangagwa would have already gone by now. At the moment, no one wants to take out even 2,000 rands. So our bail application for Nyoka is 2,000 rands. I don't know how much 2,000 rands is in dollars. I think it's less than, if I'm not mistaken, $50 or let's say $100. So we are in a position where people are not yet serious. So there is a big possibility that what is happening right now can be derailed by lack of seriousness, which then says, when Chamisa comes in, where is he going to fit in? And the issue I'm raising here are not trivial. I'm right at the center of what's happening. So I know what I'm talking about. We lack the necessary seriousness such that if Mnangagwa just sits there and does nothing, he could well go up to 2030 the way he's saying, because no one wants to properly push Mnangagwa out. So is Chamisa willing to form that political party, given the demand? Zimbabweans want someone to lead. You can see clearly that Zimbabweans want someone to lead. They want someone to force Mnangagwa out. That is why you saw Kuti, once Gqesha started speaking, and the war veterans started speaking, there was such a big response to what was happening. However, as I said, these guys were derailed by lack of funding. There is no funds. There is also no public person that is willing to come out in the open. That's why you saw Kuti, Nyabira Bunu was trapped by money. So when these guys wanted to trap Nyabira Bunu, what they did, they sent him money. So they sent him money and said, we're funding you. Unknown people that you have never seen are sending you money. And you as a leader, you're taking it. Whereas in other countries, you are going to have clearly defined people that you know, Uyu, billionaire, is giving us this amount of money. We're going to do this thing. We are properly funded. So that is where everything is failing. No one is serious in the space. Mostly people like to talk, and other people want to stand on the other side and say, "Kuti, we are benefiting at the end." So when Gqesha is speaking, everyone is happy. They are clapping. They say, "Gqesha, go, 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 go." But when the time comes to take out the necessary funds that will be needed to create that new structure, they are not there. So I think that is where Chamisa is right now. How does he form that new structure? How does he fund it? And how does it fit into what is happening within ZANU-PF, where the change will start? So the removal of Mnangagwa is going to start ZANU-PF. And then what is it going to look like? Is it going to be an NTA? Is it going to be the military? Is it going to be Chiwenga? And where is Chamisa going to be in all this? And if it doesn't move, what happens? So very critical moment. It's almost a crossroads where we are. And these meetings with the diplomats, very, very important. So I'll be updating you guys on all these things that are happening. But myself personally, from what I've seen, we don't have the necessary financial muscle right now. That's where everything's failing. People don't want to put in their time, so there is fear. People are afraid to attend court. When I talk to people and they say, "I'm going to court," they are scared. People are telling me, "Oh, if I come to court, I'll get killed. There's too much intelligence over there." And I'm saying to guys, if you can't even go to court in South Africa, you think you can rule Zimbabwe, you can go and remove Mnangagwa from State House. When you're failing to attend a court in South Africa because of fear, you think you can walk to State House and remove Mnangagwa. And I'm like, you guys are still joking. They're not serious. So we need someone that is got the necessary muscle, who doesn't have fear, and we need someone to fund what is happening. The change is stuck because people don't want to put in any skin in the game. There is no skin in the game. Mira, they are spectators. They are leaving Sarwaka, they're leaving Mudzingwa, they're leaving Nyoka Mabunu, they're leaving Gambakwe to do everything. Hoping that one day, miraculously, Mnangagwa will step down and they'll just walk into State House, which won't happen. Removing someone like Mnangagwa is a job, and a big job. And someone like Chamisa will be needed, the army will be needed, intelligence will be needed, army will be needed. If you want to remove Mnangagwa and properly set up a new government, there is a lot more to be done than what is happening right now. So I hope that it's clear. At the moment, we've got a bunch of players, but no coach. You understand what happens? My kid plays for a soccer team. I go over there, and every time I am very angry because I don't like the coach. The coach sits on the bench. When the team is losing, he doesn't change anything, and the team is timid. They don't want to throw the long balls. I always stand up there and say, "Guys, kick the long ball," and they don't do it. And I get so angry. This is what's happening in Zimbabwe politics. We don't have anyone that is willing to sacrifice themselves, to push hard enough. And Chamisa right now, I do not know what is going to happen here, but we need someone to do something. We need a bigger push than what we currently have. And I'm sure Gqesha, if he's watching me, he understands what I'm talking about. That we've got people that want to benefit at the end. But when things are happening, even a phone call, do you know how many people I've tried to call? Guys, help us. Help us, Tibatsire Nyoka. And then they go online and say, Gambako is lying. The lawyers are paid. And I'm telling you here, you're seeing me right now. I'm telling you that Nyoka's lawyers are not paid. Since the day Nyoka has been in court, the only amount that has been paid to the lawyers of Nyoka is less than 30,000, including the money that I've raised. So he's sitting there with the potential of losing his lawyers. And this man was leading everything. So everyone is just sitting there at the back, and I have to constantly call. So like when I was driving to court on that day, Guys, can you imagine that I spent almost an hour saying, guys, inside 2000, inside 2000, inside 2000. I'm busy. Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa can take out $1 billion to pay off people. Do you know how much money Mnangagwa's people offer people to sell out? And I'm just telling you, ana Chamisa, ana Chiwenga, ana Gqesha, ana Nyoka Mabunu. There has to be a different approach. You can't approach this guy muchimu daiso nekatanda. Another Chematsenga Nzungu. That is what the only way you can remove Mnangagwa. Chematsenga Nzungu. Chematsenga Nzungu. That's the only way. Yamuga bisep dara oyu. Not is jema jokes. Jiruguitika. Paris, you know, bachiri kutamba. Kana inini journalist. Ndiri kumanya kuno chaka 2,000 runs. Parisian. So let's see what happens. And I hope you guys understand where we are. We need someone with the necessary muscle, financial muscle, to make this happen. Right now, Mnangagwa can easily catch your people, like Ishwa, like grab them. 50 people grabbed like Ishwa in South Africa. That is because there is not an agency and the necessary resources to be placed in this thing. So that's why you see another meeting. They're going to talk about NTA, about National People's Conference, about the problem. But the job that is needed ahead of us is not simple. Removing Mnangagwa is done. The man is not popular. No one likes him. He has lost control of the government, the police, the soldiers, intelligence. But no one wants to step into that gap that has been left by Mnangagwa and remove him and make sure that there's a new system. Because that new system needs you to walk to State House and tell him to go. Acharamba Ripapo is like a squatter in State House. Mnangagwa is like a squatter, but no one wants to do what is needed. Amudi Samari, Munochka, Kushka pa court, pa South Africa. Munofunga mungapa enda iri pa State House. Muchichka kuenda pa court in South Africa. Like, literally everyone is scared. How can you be scared when you're a soldier? As you going? A soldier, when other people are shooting, he runs uko, where they're shooting, not away. And currently in Zimbabwe, we've got people that think someone else is going to do it. Right, so let's see what Nelson Chamisa is going to do. This political party is going to be topical. That is where we're going to next. December, we're talking about it. Now we are in May, 5 months down the line. I'm still talking about the same thing. Nelson Chamisa's new political party was first announced on 14 December. So that is when we had this meeting. And currently a lot has happened. But the guys are moving so slowly. And someone has to do something. We can't have this situation ongoing. You remember this meeting? The same week that Nelson Chamisa met in this meeting, there was a meeting here. That is in Manicaland. All the generals agreed that Mnangagwa was no longer saving Zimbabwe and must go. After this, Mnangagwa has gone on a rampage. He has fired everybody from December. We have heard Gqesha coming out multiple times. We have had stairways. We have had protests. People have been arrested. And still, we are not where we need to be because the guys are not willing to take the necessary step. The next step is come out there, go walk to State House and push Mnangagwa out. Take him out, evict Mnangagwa. No one is willing to evict Mnangagwa. They are all scared to evict him. It's like someone is living in a house without paying rent and you don't remove them. You are saying, just remove the next month. You keep going. And then he's going to come, he takes your kid, and he says, you can't take your kid. He puts him in under lock and key. That's what is happening in Yokai Mabunu right now. Arrested, they keep taking him and postponing and postponing and postponing. and time is moving. That is what is happening right now. 95 people were arrested. They were released yesterday. So I want you guys to know that the guys have been released after we intervened. We've had to go behind the scenes to talk to people, to get those people released. And you guys don't know the kind of conversation that are taking place. So those guys have been granted bail, $100 bail each, the people that were arrested in Harare. And the reason why they were granted bail, the judge was so shocked. There was no charge sheet for 95 people who have been in jail for a month. And no one even breathed. Could breathe. Guys, what is happening? Let's push for these guys. So eventually they got released. I don't know what happened to the guys in Bulawayo. Prince Dubeko Spanda was representing those. I'll ask him what's happening. And the 7 who are in Gweru. So you see what I mean? The guys that are coming, they need to be more serious. They need to provide the necessary resources. And they need to be brave. Mnangagwa has realized that he's dealing with people that are scared. And I think let's go back to what General Stolle said here. And I'm starting to agree with General Stolle that Mnangagwa is calculated. And they've seen these people are afraid to make the move. They are afraid to confront me. So what I would do, I would just play dead. So Mnangagwa is playing dead. He just played dead and he sees what you're going to do. Are you going to come and shoot me in the head? Or are you going to pass? So, you know, when you're in the army, they tell you never to play dead because you're going to get shot. However, Mnangagwa has realized the guys that want to come in, Ana Chamisa, Ana Gqesha, Ana Vesa, they don't want to confront him. The only person that is confronting Mnangagwa right now, the young man, is in jail. And Mnangagwa knows if he just sits and does nothing, the other team is also going to sit and do nothing, even though he's lost all power. So let's see what happens with Chamisa. Guys, this is very important. Is Chamisa going to form a new political party? Is he going to agree to go into an NTA? Are the army guys going to make a move? Or we're just going to hang around in this odd space where we are, where everyone knows Mnangagwa has lost power, but no one wants to move. And that all starts with the 2000. Kana ndichikudzai kuti ndakatsvaga 2000 runs. I looked for 2000 runs until I had to go and withdraw it from my own bank. And everyone is saying, oh, we are looking for 2000. We'll call you. Guys, you never rule this country. The necessary, the push that is needed is simple. Directly confront Mnangagwa. Otherwise, you never remove this guy. Next year, December, we'll be talking about the same thing. Ndokunonzi kudzana dzana. Inshona. Kudzana dzana. When you're watching wrestling, when the great Kali comes out, and he's saying, there's no fighting. And then what is going to happen? Someone is going to come with a chair and is just going to whack him from the back. Those who come Zimbabwe at Nevanu. Vasati Vaita serious to chase someone who's already been removed. Who in Zimbabwe doesn't know around the whole country. No one wants Mnangagwa. That man is gone. But who is going to step in? Is it Chamisa? Is it the army? Is it Gqesha? Is it Chiwenga? People phone me to laugh at me. Could you guys, you really think Novisa Mnangagwa? Every day. But we know Mnangagwa is gone. They know that Mnangagwa is gone. But who is going to take that necessary step? Because Abudiega, Anodaku Viswa. Right, I think we've covered it. Nelson Chamisa's new political party, meeting diplomats. But that's not enough. You need funds. When do you need to pay 2,000? Mkoma, that 2,000 was needed on court day. Yakashaika 2,000 yoyo. And Nyabira. Then, because next week on Wednesday, we need to pay 2,000 and it on 20th on Tuesday. I'm going to pay it. But in Tudaku Zekuti, I'm with Tongi Zimbabwe. kana muri kutadza kuita ma-resources. Hamuitongi Zimbabwe iyi. Mnangagwa ane ma-billions. Wikiloch paid $50,000 to South Africans to fake a warrant of arrest from Interpol. $50,000. Imimi munhu wenyu akavharirwa. Ari kutsvaga 2,000 rands. And muchiri kudzana-dzana. Zvosemesa, guys. Zvosemesa. Yeah. I think it's clear what I've said. We have to change the approach that we have. All of us here, we know Mnangagwa is gone. But something more is needed. Nezuro, you heard there was an attack at State House. That's not enough. You don't want to attack State House. That's not enough. You need to take over State House. Attacking State House is not enough. You need to take over the thing. Kubvisa Mnangagwa. Abudi zvekumhanya mudharaunda. Anoda, the final push. And that is what was being done, never come now. Vakasungwa. So I think I've covered it and I've talked for too long about it. I'm talking longer. I think I'm emotional because of what happened last week. Because in the good thing about me, I have been in this space for a very long time. I have sat with the teams. There is no politician in Zimbabwe, including Mnangagwa, Chiwenga, Chamisa, Juru. I have sat down with their people. Some of them officially, some of them unofficially. And I can tell you when someone is going to take over. The most organized team that I've ever seen, Yagaria Juru. Juru was this close to taking over because she had an organized team. She had people that were working behind the scenes. When she came to South Africa here, a guy offered a jet to go and travel to the place. And this was being done. Billionaires were coming, guys, to buy jet. Juru, I think Gadzirwa. You had Darama Vaire, Wagansia ZANU, coming to join Juru. Her team was massive. She met Morgan Tsvangirai for a coalition in Gweru. Wakaita match. Juru had a match with Morgan Tsvangirai. And a grand coalition was in the offering. At the moment, nothing that we're doing is enough. Because Mnangagwa has already lost power. And the only thing that is needed now is to bring sufficient number of people and sufficient leadership to say, Mnangagwa, get out of our State House. And Juru, they were working at the time you had to leave Zimbabwe to have a meeting. So at that time, Mnangagwa was so strong that you couldn't hold the meeting in Zimbabwe. You had to hold the meeting in South Africa. So that is where my part was, to have meetings at people's houses. Guys, in Zimbabwe politics. I went to this other lady's house. She had such a big house where no one stays. Like the whole year, no one stays there. And they were in politics. We went to different people, some of them based overseas, mostly trying to get into power. The difference between what is happening now and what was happening in the past is that we've got people in ZANU. And people in ZANU can actually take power. But the problem is they don't want to do what is necessary. They think this will be slow and it will happen by itself. We want a quick, sharp thing. And that is not there at the moment. We need resources. There is no one who has done what Nyoka Mapune has done. That's why you see they've generated. Guys, I'm out of data. That is what I'm being told by my network, that I'm out of data. I don't know why that has happened. Let's see if I'm going to wrap this up very quickly before I'm out, totally out. Or in fact, I got to say in my data. That's crazy. MTN in a Zungu. MTN, ndo yako MTN, ndugu Simon Mbama. Not in the out of data say in 100 gigs. Right. I think now what I want to do, I want to quickly go through some news. Right, he's saying I'm out of data, but check it out. I've got almost like 10 gigs of data here. MTN. Right, so what we want to do now is want to quickly look at some news so that I don't mess up this thing and get thrown out. My fiber, because it's fixed, they've come to my house and they've hacked it, and every time I'm online, somehow I get kicked out. So now I have to go to a hotel or to shoot. That's crazy. Let's go to some news. So I said, let me wrap up what I said. We currently have Chamisa working on a new political party. He has gone and met the UK ambassador yesterday. And the problem is, what do we do next? And yesterday it was addressed a bit by Tendai. You can go and watch that. I'll pull it out and show you what Chamisa said, Tendai said about the army. And then obviously we have Chiwenga, who is next in line. Mnangagwa, who is totally gone. No one likes him. And no one, even if you go to anyone, there's no one who believes that Mnangagwa is still going to be in office. So the problem is now we don't have that person that is going to say, everything stop. Let's get a new thing. That person is not there. Hence, I'm struggling to get 2,000 rands to pay bail for Nyoka. Nyoka is such a popular guy. People are scared to go to court. Kupinda pa court. Barkuchka. On top of that, no one wants to pay the bill. No one wants to pay the lawyers. Guys, and this is the Kuramanditoranyi. Let it be clear that this is the last time they do Taranyi. Number yangu mnayo, one vese. And did Kuramandichi manya, did you track Mariema lawyers? They marry bail 2,000 rands. So semesa. So ngatite kuti zvifambe. Mumvisi Mnangagwa, muchitamba kudai. Mapedza mwenda kunoita tuma voice note muchiti gamba kwari kunyeva. And yet I'm the one who has to go over there and try to get this sorted. So next week atidi majokes akadai. Because Mnangagwa apera sesipo Gqesha. Akuda kupedziswa. That's all. And I'm not lying to you guys. Mnangagwa is finished. There is no day when Mnangagwa has been this weak, ever. If Mnangagwa goes into any office, 99% of people in that office don't like him. But Shukutaza kumutiga, kumupedzisa kuti achienda, ndo zviri kunetsa. Tukumutadza pa last minute. Atidi zvekutamba, ngatipedze munhu uyu. Once and for all. Ngapedzwe Mnangagwa. Atidi zvekutamba. And we don't want fear. So atidi vanhu vanotya. Vanodzana-dzana. Okay, now let's go to some news. Right, this is a very sad story, guys. This man that you're watching here is a popular ZANU-PF politician, Nyasha Masoka. The police in Zimbabwe have been refusing to arrest Nyasha Masoka since 2021, when he started attacking his wife with a gun. So he goes and he threatens his wife with a gun. He owns a restaurant called Grill Shack and Liquor Park. So he has appeared in court and they've released him on bail, in spite of the fact that he's got 2 unlicensed firearms that he's using to threaten his wife since 2021. And the latest attack was on 10 May. So he went to his wife's house and took out his gun and fired gunshots and caused the people there to run away. This man is a popular businessman in Harare, a ZANU-PF MP. And the police in Zimbabwe have refused to arrest him. After they went to his business, they took away the 2 guns, which are licensed, a 22mm water pistol and a 270 Savage rifle. They have got no certificates. And yet he's out on bail. So this man, the only day they're going to arrest him when he kills this woman. And so much mediation has taken place and he's not being arrested. He's probably paying people off to not get arrested. Personally, Nyasha Masoka, personally, Mdara uyu, and he's very close to Mnangagwa. So This is the problem. It needs to be addressed. And I don't know what toenda kunani mpurisa who is not corrupt. Wikno Chivayo is not arrested. Scott Sakupanya is not arrested. Now we have Nyasha Masoka not arrested. While he's running around with a gun, with 2 guns, threatening his wife since 2021. So let's see if the police are going to do anything about this in Zimbabwe. It's very sad that this man is allowed to do what he's doing now. And please boycott this thing. So if you go to Carswell Farm, there's something called Gqesha and Liquor Park. Boycott that thing. ZANU uyu. ZANU ya Mnangagwa. Akuti wonesa mndondo. Nechikretu puti dwake. Wakaora. Nyasha Masoka, do you really think gun ino shamisa? Gun haishamisi. Ukaona munhu anobata futi asina respect, akapusa. Nyasha Masoka, hana respect, hana discipline. Futi, inofanira kukupa discipline. You don't just shoot in the air, even kana uri munhu wezanu. Ende vanhu vezanu vacho, vana Mnangagwa, vanosapota zvakapusa. Very silly. So we expect Mnangagwa back today from Belarus. And what else is happening in South Africa? There is a big story today, the biggest story ever. So this man here, Gqesha, has been sentenced to 8 life sentences today, yesterday, and 30 years in prison. That is after he attacked a businesswoman, Andy Kawa, 10 years ago, when she was walking at the beach in Eastern Cape. So she had visited the mother, and as she was walking at the beach, Moses appeared from nowhere and dragged her into the bushes and kept her for the night. Then he escaped. So for 10 years, no one knew who it was. And using DNA technology, they managed to link Moses to this crime after he stole a lawnmower. And he is now safely behind bars, 8 life sentences plus 30 years in jail. Very sad. But the very brave businesswoman and her daughter appeared at the court. And this is a very interesting story in that DNA was used. Then in Botswana, President Dumaboko is currently hosting the president of Namibia. So the president of Namibia is visiting Botswana. So if you go to Facebook, you're going to see that President Dumaboko says she is on a 1-day state visit. This is the first time that she's visiting Botswana, but she is going over there because no one wants to come and visit Mnangagwa. That is Her Excellency Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa is visiting Botswana, and she's visiting there on a state visit. These 2 countries share a border, and they are very close to each other in SADC. President Dumaboko doing very, very well. He was recently in South Africa, came from the United States of America, was in Zambia. He is working very hard. I like him. I like President Dumaboko doing very, very well. And look at those glasses. This man is amazing. He's a superstar. He's a superstar. He has also launched the first satellite. You saw him over there in the United States of America. I hope he does well in Botswana. Then let's quickly look at what is happening inside of our universities. So you can see that at Bendura State University, we've got the young lady who has produced a video. I do not know if it's her, but she's called Audeng D, from what I hear. I have tried to get hold of her so that we can hear her side of the story. So if she gets hold of me, I'm going to let you guys know, because some of the pictures being shared, it's not her. So this picture here, I don't think it's her. And this picture, it's her. So I don't know if there's a smear campaign or what. So I've tried to get hold of her so that I understand the actual thing that is happening here. Is someone trying to tarnish the image because we can't see a face in the videos? So maybe there is another video where there is a face, but the other face, the video that I'm seeing doesn't have the face. Sorry, guys. I think Bay is getting to my head. So let's see if she responds to me. Don't just take anything for granted. Is this here or not? That is the question. I don't think it's here. I don't think Audeng D has shot that video, but people have said it is here. Let's see what she says when she talks to me later on today. Now, let's look at the newspapers very, very quickly. And I want to start with the H Metro newspaper. So let's go to H Metro. What is in H Metro? What is Latwell saying today? Latwell, I don't know. Let's see what he's saying today. The H Metro newspaper is got some of the best editors. I like those guys. And when I go to Zimbabwe, I'm going to visit them and talk to them. So let's see what is in H Metro today, quickly. And one way, the MTN, I'm going to come over there. This thing sometimes just stops when I'm talking, or sometimes just writes me a message that I'm out of data. That's crazy. Who will take the crown? That is the Miss Universe Zimbabwe, I think. Let's look at what he's saying here. Tomorrow, we'll all have a new beauty queen, or is set for Miss Universe Zimbabwe 2025 at Harari's Hippodrome. So Hippodrome there, Hubert Angel. You always hear Sipachikans are talking about Hubert Angel. Did you know that Hubert Angel and Sipachikans are cousins? Did you guys know that Hubert Angel and Sipachikans are cousins? Zidzoro. Now let's go to the Virgin. There is Stanford and where they are talking about her, and you can go and check it out. There are two types. Mandara. Mandara yeku Harare. Mandara yeku Musha. Mandara yeku Harare. Unoti zvinonzi where ndikupinze kuKenani. And uchingoti svikei watove kuJericho. That is Mandara yeku Harare. Musarova kadzako mana. And then Mandara yeku Musha. Unopedza kana 1 year. Which is Amaku Kenan and Aushiki. So that is the difference between Mandara Yoku Zimbabwe, Yoku Harare, and Mandara Yoku Musha. So very lucky man, Uyu, Stanford, he got a 50-year-old woman that has never been with a man. That is amazing. And let's see how that goes. I don't know Mutadza Mdara Uyu. I don't know Tadza Mpedza. Then let's see what else is there. Now there is a man, businessman, threatens to kill a straight wife. That is Nyasha Masoka. Right. There is Nyasha Masoka. Right? So let me put a picture here. Ndomunu yandid. Where's ZANU? Nyasha Masoka, he owns. Right, indeed. He is threatening his wife. So it's in the H Metro newspaper also. It's in every newspaper. I'm happy that the guys are covering this story. Mupurisa Mutamba, if you don't arrest this man, he's got guns that are not licensed, and just let him run around. Because they're out Mupurisa. You're not police. And then the late Ginimbi, they are remembering Ginimbi with Say Wikino and Chief Jose. This is a video by a picture inside of H Metro, very interesting picture. And I'm sure they're standing at Santon, if I'm not mistaken. I've met Passion Java here before. But let's see what else is in this newspaper's bag. Go check it out. It's very big. Let's go to other newspapers. I want to look at the Independent, the Zimbabwe Independent. So today I'm not going to do newspapers because there are so many. So the Zimbabwe Independent is over here. What is the lead story? Okay, industries rebel against prohibitive policy rate. Things are falling apart in Zimbabwe. And plot to abandon $5 billion pension fund. So I'm not seeing much political and army stories here. Mostly it's talk. Then you've got the Kafka results. And I'm sure you see the Delta results in here. What else is here? Ramaphosa to meet Trump. Yes, I've talked about this. And then Shamba explores modular plan for $200 million project. If you invest in Zimbabwe right now, you're just throwing your money away. Don't do it. Wait for the new leader that is coming. And the new leader that is coming is going to be a coalition between Chiwenga and Chamisa. The results from Delta, I showed you yesterday. You can go and check it out. Buy this newspaper. It's doing very well. It's doing very, very well. Now, let's look at the Herald Zimbabwe. Guys, if you don't publish your newspaper in time, and I don't talk about it, no one is going to read it. So, Herald Zimbabwe, these guys are very lazy sometimes. Most times. Like now. They're sleeping on the job. Do I have to call Jenfan every day so that you guys can publish a newspaper? Who do you think is time to read your newspaper in the afternoon? And why? Why? Herald, Muchidai. Okay, what other newspaper do we have on a Friday? We've got B Metro. B Metro. Let's see what is in B Metro. B Metro Zimbabwe over here. Let's see who is cheating in Bulawayo this time. So, United Bottlers Refinery boss steals $16,000, creates and pays ghost workers, uses ghost workers to take bank loans. Let's see who's this guy. It's so sad. I'm looking for the actual story. What page is it on? United Refinery's boss steals $16,000. Let's look who it is. Let's see. I'm not seeing it, guys. Are you seeing the story? Are you seeing the story? I'm not seeing it. So H Metro, guys. Okay, there. A former human resources manager at United Refineries has landed himself in hot water after allegedly cooking up a scam involving 11 ghost workers to defraud the company of a whopping $16,587. Shingai Takunda Mabena appeared before the Bulawayo Magistrate Court. So United Refineries is a big company, and the guy has stolen this money. You can go and check it out in the in the B Metro newspaper of Zimbabwe. There are many other newspapers in Zimbabwe, and I'll cover them for you if there's anything of interest in it today. So I'll cover them today. I just have to leave this because I don't know what the network is going to do very shortly. Now, let's recap. We said Nyasha Chamisa started meeting diplomats regarding his politics and the possible formation of a political party. However, the environment we have right now is very complex. Mnangagwa has lost power, has lost influence. However, the guys on the side, we are supposed to remove him. That is Chamisa, Chiwenga, who is next in line, Nyabira Bunu. All these guys who are on this side, they need to do more. Because to remove Mnangagwa is simple. You have to be very brave. You must be willing to go to State House and take him out. Victor, because he's lost legitimacy. He's also lost popularity. No one likes him. However, at the moment, there is a lack of financial resources. The people with the money don't want to support it. So there are billionaires who are going to make a lot of money when Mnangagwa is gone. They're just sitting there and folding their hands. And I gave you an example. That last week, we were looking for 2,000 rands. I went up and down, and I went to heaven and back, looking for 2,000 rands. I know Buddha. So and I have to run around and I tell guys, we're pakoti. Kushka pakoti in South Africa. So you need to be brave, you need the financial resources, and you need to have a coalition. It's not power. You need a demo power. You will never see me in government. But we're trying to help. Everything is difficult because atina order. That's why Mnangagwa singa budi. Kusabuda kwa Mnangagwa is because atina order. Atina kubatana. And we like to talk. But time to act kana yashika. Apana action. So I'm Mnangagwa because Mnangagwa is realized kuti vanhu vari scared. Vanhu havadi kubudisa mari. So Mnangagwa knows So he's playing dead. So Mnangagwa is playing dead. He's pretending as if he doesn't know what's happening. But Mnangagwa has got every file. He's just letting you guys think he doesn't know. But he's got every file. Anaro fire race Mnangagwa. Saka, anoda kubatwa Mnangagwa kuti G. Amumbati Mnangagwa muchimushka nekatanda muchimutesta nekatanda kuti uyo ndiye ere uyo. Amumbati Mnangagwa. Gambakwe are many others afraid to act. I'm not men because I'm not a politician, guys. It doesn't help. But imagine if all the top guys, politicians in Zimbabwe, were to come to the court and support Nyoka Mapunu. And guys took that 2,000. Ndofana kugumza nani 50,000. Mwachiti ndesa papi. Because wewe ndruku manya ndichaka 2,000 rands. My lawyers are now badaro. Every day my lawyer unfonera. Twitter say, and it. Ko munozoitonga sei nyika yacho. Kana muchitadza zviriso simple. Zvakaposa kudaro. Guys, so sad. Munobatwa seishwa. Muzakangana kuti munhu uyu kawe anobvisa billion kuti mubatwe. President Duma was also in Zimbabwe. Yes, he was in Zimbabwe. Correct. How do you stay the Bruce 2000 while he is still applying for bail? Okay, when you apply for bail, munonyora mari yacho yamuri offer. So in the bail application, takanyoresa kuti 2000 ndo mari yacho badara kana mukatipa bail. So let me explain, Vincent, this is very important, and this without dariki. When I was driving to court, the lawyers called me and said, "Parudoa 2,000 rands." So without vese and andizoda munhu anozobuda achitaura kanyaya kake. So I found a lot of people and I said, "Guys, parudoa 2,000 rands." I'm driving to court and the court pakazara maseo and it. So I would them up and down as this bow. She said 2,000 withdraw and ndasvika pakoti. Vanhu vari kundimhanyisa up and down. Ndosvika ndichifona almost an hour ndichitsvaga 2,000. Kusvika ndaenda kubank kwangu inini kunotsvaga 2,000. Hamitongi nyika iyi. Mukaita zvekutamba. And inini handitunyeberei. Mnangagwa is finished. But you need to still finish him off. You, the person that is going to take over, you, the guys who are going to be in government, you, the guys who are going to get the tenders. And mchuenga kapinda mchapo wa matenda. Unda kupuwa tenda, kada apinda, bata urukutadza kana kumboitawo kana kufukunyuka, Mnangagwa chiwenga asana apinda. Urukutadza kana kuti, that day ndakazombotawo one thing. Uda kuti chiwenga wacho how yaite. That's why I'm saying kuti, Chamisa uyu. Don't let him down. Mongoti, Chamisa ngaichita. Guys, if you want to remove Mnangagwa, you have to participate. You have to be part of this. Pakoti papa. Nyoka kabuda. Mune plan here kuti zvinofamba sei. Zvigananda zvakangozara panze. And it. So these are the kind of things that we're talking about. Kuti, don't think to taking over Mnangagwa is just saying, Mnangagwa abuda. There is a process required behind the scenes. And Chamisa, right now, Chamisa, they should be consulted. All these guys were in opposition. Kana muchiti NTA anabiti. It's not just kuti NTA yacho nongo jamba yatosvika. You need to do something. And that means kuti you don't say achazoita a National People's Conference. Do it now. Phone each other, talk, arrange kuti kana zvikadai, what we do. If it goes that way, what do we do? That plan is lacking. And then call some billionaires. These guys were going to make billions in Zimbabwe. You see kuti zvaka broker everywhere. Work together with people. Where do I help? How do I assist? I was with a brother of mine. He helped me with the flights. Guys, do you know that I flew 8 times from Cape Town to Johannesburg so that I can be there at court? The lawyer said to me, Igabako, if you don't come here, no one is going to know what's happening. This case is going to be dead. So I flew 8 times between Johannesburg. First of all, to go and find the Nyoka and then go to court. So he says to me, Gambakwe, I am paying for your flights. One guy. Do you know that there's someone who's paying my flights? At one. Remember 2000. That guy, he says to me, Gambagwe, I paid your flights. Hapana erikana munhu one. Mumwe anokwanisa kubatsirawo nyaya yema-lawyers kana kuti bail. Because I can't do everything, even though ndine mari. I can't do everything. And I call. And hapana. So ngatigadzire nyaya yawo man. Atidi zvinhu zvakapusa zvakadai. Kuti toita days and days. Uyu murume uyu, nyoka yamabhunu. He is very important in the future of this country. He is a mouthpiece, a voice. Ndopanonzwa umwe munhu achingoramba achingotawura. Help mukomana uyu abude. Because zvinezvi Chivaya akabhadhara 50,000. You know it, kuti Chivaya has paid 50,000 to guys in South Africa to fake these charges. There is no charge, not even one charge against nyoka yamabhunu. But isusu tinongoita sit back. Vanhu ava vakaipa. Day yauchabatwa naMnangagwa ndo yauchaziva kuti vanhu vakaipa. Day yauchabatwa handiti wozva ndabatwa naMnangagwa, then you are going to understand what I'm talking about. Kuti munhu uyu, guys, haasi kutamba navo vanhu vane mari, vari kuthrowa in mari dzinotyisa. They are throwing money, including paying vanhu veInterpol. Isu tiri kutadza kuita zvinhu zviri simple. Right, I think this is important. You put the pastor in Mavuku. How do you say, okay, we talked about this already. It's already in the papers. And this was announced in court. It's not a secret. Right, I would like to thank all of you for watching. I'm so sorry that I'm having these network issues. And I don't understand how someone can write me a message, I'm out of data when I've got 100 gig. This is embarrassing. Right, I think I will sort it out. Anything else that I need to cover? So what time do you want newspaper to publish? What is so special about you? Don't you worry. A normal newspaper publishes at 12. So if today is the 15th, at midnight of the 15th, you publish the newspaper of the 16th. Because currently, there are over, let's say, 500 newspapers. And your newspaper, if you want it to be read, you must publish it in time. Newspaper kako. News is a commodity. So you saw when the Zulu published that there was an attack in State House. These guys don't even have it. They don't know. Kwaedza is publishing a story from during the week. Let me show you. Do you think TMZ is going to publish a story from midweek? So our newspapers, they are not in news. They should have ran to State House now. What happened there? They don't know. And yeah, Baba Guti. Do you see? It's over here. That is where they're publishing it. But no newspaper here. So you see, this is all the newspaper that they have. It's actually a newsletter. If you 2 minutes, let's see Manika Post. I just want to show you guys. Because the Zimbabwe landscape is very strange. So there's the Manika Post there. It is published. Let's see what they're saying at Manika Post. They're talking about way bridges, arrested beds and toll gates. That is over here. Notorious robber jailed for 87 years. Do you see anything here that is groundbreaking? And then disclaimer, this is important. Zimplow, Brightonshire is no longer employed by FAMEC with immediate effect. So Brightonshire, what did you do? What did you do? Are you a salesman? Because normally what they do, if you're a salesman and you sell under their own name, they will fire you and make such a statement. And then what is the Mtari Jewel? There's a Mtari Jewel here. Let's see what she's doing. I want to show you guys. So that's the newspaper. That's what I'm talking about. There are many, many newspapers. This is Christine Ngoshi, Miss Elite, over here. Amazing. I don't know. But anyway, let me explain. I actually don't care. Like, how many newspapers are there? There's so many newspapers. what's important is what we talk about here. The things that are real. Every day, I spend more than 2 hours talking to you. We're now at 1 hour, 5 minutes. There's no one in the whole world who streams like Zimbabwe. That is because I want you guys to understand. But before I go, let's go to our sponsors. Let's go to Mve. Please buy a packet of Mve. If you're in the UK, you're going to get Mazondo spice, a combination of herbs that prevents diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer. So those herbs are called Mazondo spice. You put it in your meat. And I'm going to be giving this for free to the guys in the UK. However, next month, I'm going to give it for free to anyone who buys this month. So if you buy a packet this month, next month when you buy your packet, I'll give you for free the Mazondo spice anywhere in the world. We've got about, yesterday the supplier gave us about 200 packets. So that is amazing. You can try those herbs. Very, very nice. Mazondo spice. No one else has those herbs. And obviously, please buy in Harare. If you buy today, we're going to give you this charger, this laptop charger. Amazing laptop charger for free. We got a number of these from our sponsor yesterday. I would like to thank you for watching. And by the way, our number is here. That's our number. You can just call that number to make arrangements on WhatsApp. I'll see you again later on today. And as I said, let me not leave without saying this. Nyoka lawyers are not paid. Nyoka's bill, I am going to pay it if you guys don't do it. And we need seriousness. Mnangagwa is gone, but the final push, you have to go there. Kuti ugare pachigaro chaMnangagwa, unofanira kutanga wabvisa zvigananda zvese. You need to push them out. That's why you see kuti uyu Wikino is paying so much money. He's spending thousands and thousands. Kuti avarire what is happening. Wikino is the biggest funder of all the things that are happening right now against Nyoka Mabun. He's paying thousands and thousands, 50,000 paid. Kuti Nyoka agare mjere. Muroi, Wikino. Muroi mkuru. Ndiye ari kuita izvozvo. Na Owen Muda, na Auxilia, na Sean, they are working together in unison. Isuzu will also need to work together so that Mkomana Uyu, Apude, and also we now need to take it to the next level. Ana Chamisa, Ana Chiwenga, Ana Kasukuere, everybody needs to work together. Ana Biti, so that this thing can happen. We don't want chisina order. We want order. Kana pachitwa NTA, ngaitwe. Ngasa nonoke. And then tinozo batwa, sataita zvacho. Zvatinoda kuita. Zvakaitika manje. Mdara Gqesha. We want him back this week, at least once a week. We want Mdara Gqesha kutambotitaura. Tikufonera vane vanhu vachitiseka. Inini everyday ndofonera vane vanhu vachindiseka vachiti muri kusapota ana Gqesha. Zvakatopera, vakatotadza. Every day I get such a call. Ko impeachment zvakazodi. Ko match zvakazodi. And we are being laughed at. Because they know kuti Mnangagwa akatobuditswa. Patushaya munhu ari kumubvisa. Patushaya munhu ari kumuita that final kumusimudza umubvisa pachigaro, umutsveta paside. Ndo zviri kudiwa, but no one wants to do it. Vanhu vese vakamirira kuti someone else will do it. But who is that someone? Pakaipa, guys. I would like to thank all of you for watching. Can people pay direct? Saka imimi muruti munopay direct kupi. Munofunga kuti inini kana ndichenda pa court. Anditi direct yacho iri kupi, lawyer racho mori bhadhara sei, mori ziva here. Ndakakupai manamba, aya manamba arapa, fonai tokupai kunoda kubhadharwa kwacho. Anditi I never said give me money. I'm just saying to you, munoziva here kuti lawyer riri kushanda is a top lawyer. Tine vanhu 4. Hatifani kutaura nyaya dzakadai. Hamuitongi nyika iyi kana muchitaura nyaya dzakapusa kudai. Dzema 30,000 nema 50,000. Ana wiki no. Vari kubhadhara ma-millions pazvinhu izvi to protect this thing. Kuti vagare vachiba. Vari kubhadhara ma-millions and millions. Hamuitongi nyika iyi kana musati ma-serious. Ndakakuudzai nyaya intelligence. Kuti kana mukaita poor intelligence hamuitongi. Secondly, umwe wenyu akabatwa, mese moita move back, mosiya vanhu vasingazikanwi, panofanira step up one more ari popular. So let's say nyoka abatwa, handiti Zimbabwe has helped you guys otaura every day. Zimbabwe obatwa, then mese mongogara, and then moti, can't we pay direct? Can't we pay direct? My lawyers are not bad. Vakazotiza mozoita say. And let's say case in 12 months. Do you have the capacity to in the 12 months? Yeah. Because that's what these guys want to do. They want to keep you locked down in courts. So they must know if they make a move, they will be in equal and opposite direction. At the moment, Mnangagwa go push us on vision. And no one is there. But you don't want to act. So we want action. Mnangagwa must be pushed out. Those are Sarah. Akatopera munhu. Akapera. Right. I would like to thank all of you for watching. And I'll see you again later on today if something big happens. Or I'll see you in the evening. Guys, let's push. This is the final moment. Let's make this happen. Thank you very much for watching. And a good day to you all.